YouTube. What's up, baby? We back in this thing again for another review. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and today we're here to talk about a new movie that just came out. You can, of course, stream it on Peacock if you got Peacock, but also simultaneously, it is playing in the movie theaters. And that movie is Firestarter. All right, so just again, because I think I did a review for the trailer. If I didn't, let me just go ahead and say this. Firestarter is a Stephen King movie. Actually just a Stephen King book, first of all, and then they made it into a movie, I think in the 80s. I think it was the 80s, maybe like 84 or something like that. And that was played. I think the lady's name is Drew Barrymore now. But when she was playing the main character, she was like, you know what I'm saying, young, of course, because that's what the main character is. But anyways, that movie, I saw that movie back in the day. I should have took some time and watched it, but I did not, and I would have been able to compare the two. But I vividly remember, like, you know, what happened in that movie. And if I'm not mistaken, I do remember that I liked the movie. So anyways, now of course I was gonna watch Firestarter too. You know, but I am really liking all these Stephen King adaptations from his books into whether it be movies or even TV series. They've really been hitting for me, especially the ones that I've watched. But anyways, let's get back to Firestarter. So Firestarter just came out like a couple of days ago. So like I said, you can stream it right now on Peacock, or you can go to the movie theaters and watch that way if you would like. But if you've been to this channel before, you already know what we do. We started off with the premise, 3 favorite scenes, the grade, and then we on to the next one, right? So Firestarter is basically, now in this movie, the little girl's name is McGee. That's her last name. Now I don't think that's her real name though. You know what I'm saying? Because they were going around and using different names because they were trying to hide from the government. So, or just the facility that ran the test. So I don't really know if her last name is, or if she goes by McGee. In the other movie, but in this movie, the little girl, her last name is McGee. You have her father, played by Zac Efron, and his name is Andy McGee. Like I said, I don't know if that's the real name or if that's just a whole persona that they had to put on in order to avoid being caught by the government. And then you have Sydney Lemon. She plays Mrs. McGee, right? Now, in the very beginning of this, they had like a situation. This is what I am confused about this, because they had a situation where Andy McGee and Mrs. McGee, well, Mr. and Mrs. McGee, they ended up going to like this government type of facility. They were asking them certain questions. They pretty much answered no problem. And then they asked Mrs. McGee, like I said, they're younger at this point. Like I don't even think that they have their daughter yet at that point. So they're younger at this point. But they asked Mrs. McGee, like, hey, have you ever like had any type of interaction with someone using like telekinesis type stuff? And then she's like, I don't want to talk about that. So I was like, hold on, like, you know what I'm saying? What does that mean, bro? And then they asked not Zac Efron, but they asked Mr. McGee, have you ever been in situations that you would consider to be like, like somewhat weird or supernatural, whatever you want to say? And he's like, nah, not really, but I know that, when I was younger, I had a dream that my parents died in a car crash. And then they were like, okay, so what's weird about that? And then he was like, well, a week later, they did die in a car crash. So obviously, Mr. and Mrs. McGee have some type of power already right off the back, and kind of guessing that Mrs. McGee will have the telekinesis, which is why she want to talk about it. And then you're seeing Mr. McGee as having some type of clairvoyance power, where in which he's able to see somewhat into the future. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how far, like the how great that power is of the clairvoyance. Like, is it on, you know, a super duper level, or is it just, you know, that happened one time or whatever? But anyway, so they're talking about powers. So I'm either thinking that they've had powers from the beginning, or the government ended up like they ended up doing like some type of test. They wanted to do some type of test, and it was like to inject them with some drug, and it would do something to their body. So like I said, I was confused of whether when they injected them with the drug, is that when they got the powers, or did they have the powers just from the get go? But obviously, this facility was trying to do something where they were trying to like break uh, uh, into a new world with, you know, some type of altering of the DNA, where, you know, which people would get powers, whatever it may be, or just find people that per se had powers and then use the drug on them, whatever it may be. But yeah, that's kind of the Mr. and Mrs. McGee backstory. You know, before they have their daughter, and then once they do have their daughter, you find out that the daughter, as a baby, bro, as a baby, like as an infant, you find out that she's able to control fire. You know what I'm saying? At this point, not really knowing how to control it. It just kind of comes randomly because she's a little baby, like for real. But you find out that she has that power, and then you know, because of this, the facility that was trying to work with Mr. and Mrs. McGee, finding out that their daughter has powers and is one of the only ones that has that type of that power to be a fire starter. Of course, they're coming after them. They're coming after them, and they kidnapped the daughter when she was younger. You know, but through sheer will, you know what I'm saying, Mr. and Mrs. McGee are able to get their daughter back, and then you know, they live life, and they live life underneath the grid. They don't use any Wi-Fi. They don't use any technology. Pretty much, I mean, as far as like something that can have tracers in it, like, you know what I'm saying, any Wi-Fi type of technology, you know what I'm saying, they're not going to use, because they don't want the facility to find out where they are. They don't even have jobs. They do like undercover, like under the table type work, where, you know what I'm saying, you get paid cash, because they're not trying to leave no paper trail in order for the government to find them, and, you know, they get tossed into a cell, as well as their daughter, who knows. So that's basically the premise of the movie. They're trying to escape this government, or this facility that did the testing and is interested in their newly born daughter, and then they have to deal with that as she grows up. You know, it's harder to hide, and it's harder on her to be such an outcast, because with her power and her not being able to be in control of it, if she was, you know, to be in a situation that she gets mad, you know, she can cause a lot of devastation. She can kill people. And then, you know, maybe that's not the worst thing, which is, you know, that's pretty bad, but by doing so, you're opening up the facility's eyes to know where you're at. Then they're going to come after you. So it's a hard situation for her, being the age that she's at and having the powers that she has. Throughout the movie, and like I said, I'm not going to give out everything away. I'm not going to give everything away. Throughout the movie, you end up finding out that she actually has the power of her father and her mother. So not only is she a fire starter, but she has telekinesis, and on top of that, she has the clairvoyance that her father has. But we also in the movie find out that Mr. McGee's power is not just having clairvoyance. He can actually like use his mind and make you do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like on some Professor Xavier type stuff. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, she has all three of those powers, or all four of those powers, however you want to say it. So she's definitely on a whole nother level. But you know, like I said, it's just them trying to escape the government, whatever that group is you want to call them, and them running into problems. And but all in all, just still not giving up and trying to keep their daughter safe. That's basically the premise. So anyways, three of my favorite scenes of this would be when the agent gets killed, and this is gonna be a little spoilers now, but when the agent gets killed in that car, bruh, when the daughter is like, you know what I'm saying, is my father in the facility? Do you got a gun? Give me your badge or whatever so I can be able to have access to get into the facility. And she blew that fool away after he tried to blow her away. Like, she literally burnt that fool to a crisp. Like, how, like, not completely all the way, you know what I'm saying? Like, bad enough to the point where he's just out. And then she's like, I gotta finish what I started. So she burned him completely to a crisp. And I was like, yo, like, that's, first of all, that's what you get for trying to kill a little girl. But beyond that, bro, like, her power is just, it's crazy, man. So that would be like one of my first scenes that I like. The second scene would be, okay, when she does find her father in the facility, she knows that he's locked up. Of course, at this point, her mother's dead. The head lady of that facility is in the same room with Mr. McGee. And so his daughter's on the outside of that room, and it's like a glass, just a glass wall, you know what I'm saying, for protection. And like her father's like, look, like, remember what I told you when I said I don't want you hurting nobody? Like, forget that. You need to burn this place down. And so he uses his power is called the push. Like, when he starts using his mind to make people do stuff, his power is called the push. And basically it makes his brain bleed when he uses it. So it's not a good idea for him to use it. But he's used it so much, and he's so weak at this point that if he uses it one more time, he will die. But he uses it to push his daughter, to make her, go all out with her power, and not only burn him, but burn the lady that's in the head of the facility. So you watch them both just get burnt to a crisp, bruh. And then it was crazy. So that was my second favorite scene. Third favorite scene would be just, the daughter escaping from the facility after, having to sacrifice her father and then killing the head of the facility. She has to escape, and she lets out all the people that are in there, that are behind the walls, that may have powers. So we'll see where that leads, and if there's another one, if there's another sequel to this movie. But she lets out those people, and then she has to kill the rest of the guards, bro. And she's just burning people, bro. She's controlling people, bro. She's like, pushing people, like, she's just going all out. You know what I'm saying? You get the ultimate display of what she can do. And she's still young. Her powers are still growing, and she still is not in control. She doesn't have control of everything yet. So when she does, bro, it just lets you know that she's going to be like the one for sure. But yeah, just seeing her escape the facility, bro, how she handled the guards, it was crazy, man. But that would be three of my favorite scenes, man. This movie is getting so much hate. I don't know if it's because it's not equivalent to the first one that they made in 1984, or if they don't feel like it's equivalent to the book that Stephen King made. But like, this movie was not bad like that, and I've seen so many movies that are worse than this. Like, I swear to God. And then I'm talking about recently, bro, like movies that are supposed to be good that are just trash. And I just can't believe that this is getting the grade it's getting right now. I think it's a 4.7 on IMDb, and it's 12% on Rotten Tomatoes. I thoroughly enjoy myself. Yes, it's a simplistic story, but it that's all it was necessary to show. It didn't have to be all complex and everything like that. It's just turn your brain off, bruh, and watch the movie. Like, I don't understand why everybody is such a critic nowadays, and everything has to be 100% perfect, or else, you know what I'm saying, you don't like it. Like, turn your brain off, watch the movie. Yes, movies are going to have plot holes. Yes, movies are going to have certain things that you don't agree with. But if you can enjoy the majority of the movie, enjoy it. And then don't criticize it so horribly to the point where it's like, oh, like, this is just, like, I don't understand. I don't understand. But for me, the grade that I give it, because I did enjoy it, was the best movie I've seen recently? No. Was it a cool movie? That I would watch again? Yes. So me, I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. All right, so 8 out of 10 for me, definitely above average for me. So I would suggest that you check it out if you're a fan of Stephen King, if you're a fan of the Firestarter book, if you're a fan of the Firestarter movie that they made in '84. Check this out, see how you like it. But yeah, man, that's it. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. What were some of your favorite scenes? How did you like this compared to the '84 version? Would you like to see a sequel or some type of prequel, whether it be another blockbuster movie, or just it be something straight to VOD, or something that's on one of these streaming platforms like Netflix or HBO Max, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about that in the comments down below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I am Callie. Until next time.